Hey folks, this is Best in Slot and welcome to the very first dev diary of 2024 for Prehistoric Kingdom. And it must be said, and I think I say this all the time, the most exciting dev diary we've ever had. A fantastic look at not only what's coming in the next month, in February, but some phenomenal stuff coming later this year. If they pull it all off, we are looking at just an all-time great dinosaur park builder, if it's not already. So let's get started. First things first, update 10. This is coming mid-February, mid to late February. So within the next 2 to 4 weeks from this video, we're going to get a free update, update 10. What does it include? Well, it includes a new animal. First of all, it includes Elasmotherium sibiricum. Actually includes 2 new animals. We'll get to the other in a second. Elasmotherium sibiricum, our woolly rhinoceros, of course, looking absolutely fantastic. I really like Prehistoric Kingdom's fur shader, the way that we've got the different lengths of fur across the animal. You know, you've got the shorter hair across the chest, a little bit longer there, hanging down at the stomach, and then we go further forward, we've got almost a mane going on, and a beard drooping down. Looks really well modelled, humongous keratin horn, which is really interesting. So the horn length of, and the horn sort of shape of Elasmotherium is very much still up for debate. I do prefer the gigantic one on the right, I'm not going to lie, but the different skins will have different shapes and sizes of horns as well, so you can kind of mix that up in that regard. And it should give a really nice variety to your Elasmotherium herds. Looks really, really cool, and it's really good to get some mammals in. We do have another one coming very shortly, but before that, we have an alternate species for Elasmotherium. This is Sinotherium lagrelli, and this is a woolless rhinoceros that would eventually evolve, you know, like Pokemon, and become Elasmotherium. This is a predecessor to Elasmotherium, so an alternate species with that lovely leathery body that would eventually be covered, of course, by all that lovely fur we just saw. We've got another picture of that right here, so this will be a singular skin and stuff like that. It definitely has more of a rhino body kind of aesthetic with the leather and the sort of almost armor plating aesthetic with the leather as well, the way it sort of folds onto the body. But also coming, cave lions. These have been previously revealed. We've got 2 species of cave lion coming in update 10 as well. So 2 brand new prehistoric mammals, sort of prehistoric. Does history count? Prehistoric means before recorded history. Do cave paintings count? They should do, right? So technically not prehistoric. Anyways, they both look fantastic, and they really lean into the rest of the stuff that's coming with update 10. So let's dig into that. First things first, we have a brand new building set, the Stone Age theme. It looks like Far Cry Primal. It's fantastic. You can see fish drying racks, we can see toadstool looking things, lovely little rock plinths, we've got a campfire, we've got some Stone Age tools, we've got pottery, we've got sort of leather hanging up, we've got leather walls, we've got nets hanging down, we've got wooden basket kind of looking things, wooden poles. Really, really, really cool stuff. Can build some awesome thematic habitats with this for our Elasmotherium and our cave lions in particular. Kind of want to go really hard on the theming using this kind of stuff. Quite excited to see what we can do with that. Also, as part of this theme, we've got cave paintings as well with stalagmites and stalactites going on. Again, really, really cool. And we can see here, we've got one of our sauropods in the background, we've got our woolly mammoths in the foreground and our Elasmotherium down there. I do wonder if each of these paintings, I think it is by the looks of it, is an individual item. So we've got at least 3 creatures. I love that we've got that little nod though, you know, they are living here at the time of dinosaurs, even if that's not historically accurate. In Prehistoric Kingdom's world, it is. So why not have cave paintings for all of them? Really nice touch. And as you can see, we've also got some Stonehenge-esque monoliths and stone things. And we've also got a rowing boat over there on the right-hand side as well. Really, really, this is the kind of theming stuff I absolutely adore. I think it gives your parks so much personality. I think it's going to be really exciting to play with. We've got 2 new fence types, starting with these really cool palisade ones. I love how, again, we've got these vast differences in how they look. So the little ones are these very strung together logs. The taller fence has some more slats between the logs, and then the big one is a proper large spiked protective palisade with what looks to be supportive struts every now and again, all wrought together with rope. Going to be able to build a proper caveman Neolithic sort of encampment. That's going to be really cool, and have your cave lions live in that. I cannot wait. But we also have another new fence. We've got a stone fence, a little bit more tundra appropriate. This one's got some slats built into it for some glass, or some slats there, sort of clear air holes, I suppose, windows you might call them if you were a normal person. But looks really good. Nice weathered rock. I'm a bigger fan of the Palisades, but this is a nice addition to the game as well, for sure. Really leaning into that rustic, handcrafted kind of aesthetic. Also coming to update 10, very appropriately, we have a new map, Canada. Oh, Canada is joining the game. There's lovely winding rivers, these big boreal sort of forests, these mountain ranges in the distance. My kind of map. Very excited to build on this one. We've got a couple of lovely pictures there, and very much the kind of environment. Obviously there's a theme going on here. Very much the kind of environment you could see your mammoths walking down that coastline being pursued by hunters or something. Going to be very atmospheric, and definitely going to want to build a Stone Age themed park on this map eventually. And as an added bonus, the Canada map at night time is going to have an Aurora Borealis. Indeed contained entirely within Prehistoric Kingdom at this time of year. Looks beautiful. Going to make for some very atmospheric nighttime scenes. Imagine this scene here. What you're seeing, but just stick your mammoths in there walking across at the bottom. Gonna do some really nice digital photography on this one. So that's what we know about update 10. That's all coming within the next few weeks, but coming later this year. It's exciting stuff here. But before we get to that, staff are joining the game. So you're going to have two different types of staff. We've got our generalist staff, which are these ones here. You've got your cashier, your kiosks and stores, your janitor, cleaning up, and your logistics, who are doing shipments and stuff like that. Now, generalist staff, if you've got a generalist staff member, one will be a cashier or a janitor or whatever. Because they're generalized abilities, they're not specialized skills, a generalized staff member can take up any of the roles as need be. If you've got tons of janitors and suddenly you've got a cashier emergency, one of your janitors will move and fill that void. That is not true for your specialist staff. So here we've got your keeper for your habitat maintenance, your vet for your animal care, security for park protection, repairing fences and stuff like that, and engineer for park maintenance. So you're going to have to maintain all of these in order to keep your park running nicely and safely. Make sure your dinosaurs are happy, make sure your animals are happy, make sure your guests don't get eaten alive. Usual stuff. The big news of today, of course, is that ontogeny is coming to Prehistoric Kingdom. We've got a fantastic picture of it here. We've got our baby Apatosauruses looking utterly agonizingly adorable with their little front hooves and their happy little grins and large eyes, looking absolutely beautiful. You can see there's lovely little changes here, like how the spinal ridges are a little bit shorter. The hump is sort of developing, but it's not individualized like it is in the parents. We've got quite a lot of detail on this. This is obviously the highlight feature, so I'm going to go into it a little bit more detail on this slide right here. So ontogeny is the process in which a baby dinosaur or baby animal is going to become an adult animal. And rather than in a game like Planet Zoo, for example, where you'll have a baby animal and then it grows up and you sort of look away in the camera and it turns into an adult, an ontogeny system allows that baby to slowly, gradually grow up. If you've played Saurian, you'll know what to expect, or indeed the older versions of Prehistoric Kingdom back in the day. Your baby will gradually grow into an adolescent and gradually then grow into a full-grown adult. How many baby skins will there be? For technical reasons and memory constraints, we'll be limiting baby skin patterns to one per animal. Means regardless of the skin you've chosen, all designs for a given animal, like Apatosaurus, will appear the same at birth and eventually grow into their selected skin colour. There may be exceptions as development continues, but the rule is one baby skin per animal. We should note that like adults, however, baby animals will have individual colour variation. Each little hatchling, calf or kitten, can't wait for the baby cave lions, will look slightly different from one another. So that's fair enough. I think, that's fairly understandable as far as limitations go. The skins in this game are already beautiful, and I think it makes a lot of sense in some ways that they're all going to start together. You're going to have your clutch little babies, and they're all going to look identical, but then they're going to grow up into all these different colours, and you'll see that gradually change thanks to the ontogeny system. How will players create baby animals? In Sandbox, players will be able to pick the age of an animal when creating them in the nursery. In Challenge Mode, we're planning to make that part of the research tree. If players want adult specimens at the beginning of their challenge game, they'll have to go through different means to acquire them. Ooh, future mechanics. More info on revised animal creation and acquisition gameplay will be coming in the future. And that in itself is quite an interesting idea for a challenge mode. Not only do you have to research and, pay for these dinosaurs and unlock all these animals, but when you first get them, they're not going to be assumedly as high scoring. You're going to have all these babies to look after, and then they'll grow up, and then you'll kind of develop your park from there. Breeding, the big one as well. Breeding is something a lot of people have been requesting. We agree it feels like the next step for ontogeny in Prehistoric Kingdom. With that said, we're focused on delivering the core experience first, animals growing up, before expanding with additional gameplay. So it is in the plans, it's going to happen. They're going to add breeding to the game. It's just going to take a little bit of time. There are other things to do first of all. So it's fantastic, and this is going to apply to all the different animals. They're all going to have all these different life stages. I can't imagine how much work this took and how much work this will continue to take, so we should really be appreciative of what we've got, because phenomenal stuff. But that's not all. We've got a little bit more information. So update 10. Assumedly the ontogeny and the staff, by the way they're phrasing it, is update 11. And further out, update 12. A couple new species mentioned here, a couple new genus, I should say, genera. Apatosaurus Ajax. Is it Ajax or is it Ajax? It's Ajax if it's the football team, so I'm assuming it's still Ajax if it's the dinosaur. But Apatosaurus is joining the game. We've got a colossal, mammoth, muscly, fat, chubby chunk of a dinosaur. I love how huge this thing feels as it's wandering through the forest here. You can see it just feels gigantic. Those thigh muscles, that big, chunky neck. It feels very demonstrably different than the sauropods we have in the game at the moment. Really beautiful looking skin as well. The modelling is fantastic, as we always expect with this game as well. But that's not all we have. We also have Brontosaurus. This is coming in as an alternate species to the Apatosaurus, seemingly Brontosaurus excelsus, because Brontosaurus is, well, for a while it was fine, and then it was dubious, and now it's fine again, generally speaking. But looks really good, looks demonstrably different than the Apatosaurus. We've got those sort of neck spikes going on, and this lovely milieu of colours for the patterns, these fading stripes turning into stripes and spots down at the back, and these nodules of bone as well on the lower end of the neck. Two beautiful sauropods. Can't wait to see them in the game in update 12 later on this year. And that's it for update news. There's a lot to come. Ontogeny is obviously the highlight, but there's a lot of exciting stuff coming to the game, including, I'm really excited about that Stone Age theme. I think that's going to be really cool, and that's here in just a couple of weeks. Now, two things before we go. First of all, every time they do one of these, they do like a community spotlight. I haven't really showcased them ever. I had to today. This is a phenomenal screenshot by Assassin Spino. It is a thing of sheer beauty, showcasing the new Spinosaurus with our new swimming behavior, cutting through this mossy, mossy, lotusy, what are they bloody called? Lily pad strewn, swampy sort of area. Now, obviously what they've done is they've paused it and kept the Spino in place and then built the moss around them, but it works really. It's very, very effective. The lighting in this game is gorgeous. It's a fantastically staged screenshot, really beautiful stuff, and shout out to Assassin Spino for that. Last thing before we go, this is all very well timed. If you caught my stream a little bit earlier today, you'll have heard me talk about Prehistoric Kingdom. We're going to finally start a build. I know we've been talking about it for absolutely yonks and things keep happening, but come back on Friday, fingers crossed to 99%. On Friday, we'll be starting a park build in Prehistoric Kingdom. Not sure what we're doing 100% yet, but we're going to start a live stream park build on Friday in Prehistoric Kingdom. And that means in a couple of weeks, we'll be able to try out the new Stone Age theme and all that kind of jazz and the two new species as well. Really exciting time for dinosaur park builders. Really exciting time for Prehistoric Kingdom in general. I hope they have a fantastic year because the stuff they're doing is top. I mean, look at that. That is beautiful. Right, that's it from me though. Thank you so much for joining me. Throw me a like if you enjoyed the video. I will link the devlog down below if you want to read it at your own, off your own accord and your own timing. And yeah, come back on Friday for some Prehistoric Kingdom. Very excited. Thank you so much for joining me. Cheers much as always. Bye-bye.